Hi, welcome to another episode of Joyner TV. I am David Joyner, and thank you as always for watching each week. You can sign up for the blog and share our content at joynerstrategies.com, and also Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can follow and engage with us at Joyner Media. We appreciate it. Thank you for the continued support and feedback, and the emails and comments. Seriously, we really appreciate it. It means more than you know. I want to talk about something this week. I've been in a lot of meetings recently, with new clients and current clients, and in the early phases of the discussion, we'll talk about, like what do they market, how do they stand out? That's usually the first question. I'll never forget when I first took over as marketing director at the hotels, we were asking ourselves that question, how do we stand out? What makes it different? Do people really care that there's a Wolfgang coffee maker in this room and the other one doesn't have it? No, they don't care about that. We had to figure out what it was that made us unique, what it was that made us different, not try to be everybody else, but try to be something that stood out, that was special, and that's what we marketed. And we came up at that point, we marketed our experience. We didn't market the side of the rooms, we didn't market, the price of the rooms. What we told the story of is that you're going to get treated better and in a way that you had never been when you came into our facility. That's what we sold to people. It was the idea of the experience would be catered to them. It would be something that made them feel like when they left, a red carpet had been rolled out and they were treated like royalty. That was what made us different. That was what made us unique. We looked at things that were weaknesses and how we could make them strengths. And we told that story. And you have to do that not only for your personal branding, but also for any branding for an organization. But start with not being afraid to stand out. Think about it. If you're a real estate person or a tax attorney or an insurance agent, what is it that makes you any different from anyone else? When you drive down the street, I always make this joke to people, when you're driving and you see a billboard with somebody's face on it and then it says call so-and-so insurance company, how is that any different from any other billboard that you see? It just gets lost in the crowd. And when you're trying to fight through a sea of competition and constant noise, you really have to do something that stands out. What is it that grabs that person's attention? Think about yourself when you're scanning social media, when you're watching something on TV. What is it that'll make you stop and look at a commercial? What is it that'll make you stop and watch a video? It's usually something different, something that does what speaks to you. So first, define what that is about yourself that makes you unique. Define what it is about your organization. Don't just say, if you run a nonprofit, we take great care of kids. No, say, how is it that you take care of children in a way that no one else does? How is it that you provide a support to the community in a way that no one else does? What is it about the story of your organization that is so beautiful and so unique that people need to know it, that it will cause them to be compelled to go to your website and find out more information? What is it about your restaurant or your coffee shop, the way the employees dress, the way they interact with each other? What are those things that make you unique and stand out differently from everyone else? So what makes you different is what makes you strong. What makes you stand out from everyone else is what makes people remember your brand. Because you got to remember that branding is perception, perception is reality. If people don't know what it is that you offer, they don't know the value of what you bring to them in a different way, then they won't remember you. So don't be afraid to embrace your unique story. Yeah, it may be different from everybody else. You may be quote unquote weird, but think about how many of those quote unquote weird brands or weird people are the names we remember, the names who changed the world, the names who become insanely successful. At some point, Steve Jobs was weird. At some point, a lot of business people who now we sit back and act like that they're the titans and they were born brilliant. No, they went against the grain. And when you read their stories, they did the opposite of what the status quo said you should do. So in your market, whatever your target audience is, don't be afraid to let them know who you are. And also don't get influenced by the competition, by the status quo, by the quote unquote good old boys in your community that say, well, you have to do it this way, or you should do it that way, or this is how they've been doing. I had people tell me in the beginning, and this is true, and I know they meant it well, these people here have been doing marketing for a long time, so do you really want to reinvent the wheel? Literally telling me not to start a business or not to attempt to do something, even though I felt I had a unique value to bring because someone else was doing it. You can't let stuff like that cloud your head. You can't let stuff like that keep you from charting your own course and not being afraid to do it differently. The great thing about the business world we live in now, there's a lot of disruption happening. People are constantly disrupting the market by doing things that are unique and different and finding new ways to bring value to people. So be sure that you are not afraid to define what makes you unique and then market the hell out of it. Embrace it and keep telling that story. And even if you are doing something so different from anybody else in your community, anybody else in your field, I promise you, if it brings people value and if it's something that they will remember and you tell that story correctly and consistently, you will reap the benefits from it. Do not try to be another little bit better version of what everyone else is doing. That's not memorable, and that's not something you should be spending your time investing in. You have a unique story, you have a unique background, you have a unique skill set. Embrace it, market it, and do what you got to do to get that story out there. As always, thank you for watching. Keep hustling hard, keep fighting forward. Go to joynerstrategies.com and share this blog. Thank you.